life begins with new and ends with new. Time travel, medieval times, frogs, catgirls, robots, intergalactic monsters, disabled moms, all words that, in hindsight, have nothing in common with one another unless you're talking about the game considered by most to be
the greatest. It is the best.
One of the finest, greatest JRPG ever made.
I am, of course, talking about developed by a bunch of famous Japanese people that wanted to do something never done before. It became an immediate hit in the Japanese and North American market alike. And of course it was going to be a huge hit. I mean, we are talking about the creators of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Dragon Ball, series that to this day retain their cultural significance with the nerds of the world. But I am not being fair. I'm attributing the game's success to the fame of the big names behind it, when in fact, we should be giving it to the game itself. Why, you might ask? Well, because the game is good. Extremely good. Like having a tomboy cat girl with lots of energy in your party levels of good. I really hope that sentence helped you understand why I love this game so much. It all starts in the year 1000 AD. A young man named Chrono decides to go have some fun at the Millennial Fair, a celebration of... You know what? I'm going to stop right there. At this point, almost every creator in this platform has done a video explaining in detail the plot, characters, and mechanics of the game. So, you probably already understand said aspects even better than I do. No. Instead, I want to focus on two aspects that I find particularly charming about the game, starting with the music. I would like to think that most people understand the importance of sound in any audiovisual medium, how it can complement what it's being shown on screen to heighten its effect or, in certain circumstances, create a new and contrasting feeling. For example, So, it was a complete surprise for me finding in the soundtrack of a 27-year-old game one of the most harmonic and yet wide-ranging works of composition of any game I have ever played. Like, in my opinion, there are only a few games that synergize their soundtrack and the rest of the elements of the game with such mastery. A few examples that come close being both of the new Doom games and Hollow Knight, but even these don't tend to stray too far away from a central feeling. Aggressiveness and making you want to kill shit for Doom, and melancholy mixed with hope for Hollow Knight. So when Yosunori Mitsuda took me from the happiest day to a bone-chilling landscape, only to then spit me into complete hopelessness, my mind was simply blown away. And it's not only the songs themselves, but the timing in which they are implemented. Just the title screen alone shows how much passion and thought was put into the sound of the game. Like, just listen to it. It already tells you what the game is going to be about, while at the same time hyping the shit out of you. But anyway, my point is that the music is pretty good and it's complemented quite nicely by some wacky and stylized visuals. But sound and visuals can only do so much. If the central story sucks, well, it pretty much nullifies their effect, which is luckily not the case with this game. The story is, like the kids say nowadays, straight buzzing. Specifically, how they managed to integrate the mechanics of time travel, its effect and consequences so effortlessly and with such mastery into the in-game world, reaching the point where they can use it as a guiding hand to help you think and feel emotions that you probably wouldn't have on your own. So, let's talk about it. Consequences. The best example of this, and a personal favorite of mine, comes after a very significant point in the story, which I'm going to spoil in the next paragraph, so come on, you know the deal. If you care for that type of stuff, jump to this timestamp. Anyway, like in most JRPGs of the era, you're given one of them silent protagonist companies use in the hopes that you reflect your own personality into them and get immersed enough to the point where you feel like you are the one going on adventures with a bunch of attractive anime girls and stuff. You know, the good old trick of the self-insert. But unlike in most games that use this trick, you actually have a mom. Yes, like most moms in Japanese media, she doesn't do much of anything at first, aside from probably being hot as fuck and more than likely having an affair with the college student next door. But as the game progresses, and with the help of small interactions that become available every time you get to a new part in the main story, these geniuses manage to give her progressively more and more character until, without you even realizing what has happened, you end up caring deeply for her, because now she's not just a filthy NPC like all the others, but instead is a fully fledged person with a caring personality. And I realized how much I cared for her and the relationship between her and the main character after the last one fucking dies. Like, his soul literally exits his body and then the remaining husk gets disintegrated. A shocking thing given the self-insert thing I talked about before, but after that the game just keeps going. You keep playing as the other characters in your party. You can do everything you could before, it's just that the MC is no longer there. So, I kept playing. Kept interacting with every NPC I could find, and after getting a bit stuck on what to do next, I ended up stumbling into the main character's town. So I again decided to talk to everyone, and coincidentally, the last character was the mom. And what followed was just a few lines of text. Nothing so beautifully written it could have put Shakespeare to shame. No, it was just a mom asking his son's friends where he was. And after they lied to her, the saddest track in the game starts playing and she just replies with, "Tell him to be good, alright?" It's just so fucking beautiful. The subtext of she just being a good, wholesome mom that met every one of your friends, made embarrassing remarks when she met them, and generally asked how you're doing on your trip, contrasted with the truth that her son died. And it died in an interdimensional fight with a fucking eldritch monster. Like, she will never see him again. And that is just so... soul-crushingly beautiful. And this is just my favorite example. There are plenty more like The Fiend Village, The Raptor Sanctum, The Story of the Hero. Anyway, my point is that by giving consequences to even minor things you do while progressing in the game, they bring a level of life to the world and its characters that I've hardly seen elsewhere in the game industry. So yeah, those were the two things I wanted to talk about. Thank you for listening to my Zoom presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments or suggestions are appreciated, unless you're verified on Twitter. If that's the case, just please leave a like and keep walking. And yeah, I'm kind of new to retro games, so if you got any you think I might like, just leave the name in the comments and I'll probably play them. What else? Oh yeah, I got a Twitch. I basically never use it, but if you want, you can follow me. The gameplay is not that good, but at least my music playlist is full of certified bangers. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching and bye bye.